KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. It's time for your morning wake-up call.
This is your wake-up call for Tuesday, December 26th. I'm Heather Brooker in for Amy King. Happy day after Christmas. Is that a thing? Can we celebrate that? Keep the celebration going? Research from the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence says 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men 18 years and older have been the victim of severe physical violence in their lifetime. And that violence is more likely to happen during the holidays because of time off from work and school and other factors. Joining me now to talk about recognizing and addressing domestic abuse during the holiday season is Sylvia Gribbell, the Directing Manager of Trauma Enforced Services and Education at the Los Angeles Center for Law and Justice. Thank you for joining me.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Heather.
All right, so let's start with what you do at the center. Tell me about the work you're doing there.
Well, we have the distinction of being a 50-year-old legal aid in Los Angeles County, primarily serving the needs of domestic violence and sexual assault survivors.
Do the holidays have more of an impact on victims of domestic violence? What are you seeing there at the center?
Well, I mean, we see what I think many of us may or may not be able to recognize as intimate partner violence. And so it could look, we see frequently claims from, criticism and jealousy and possessiveness that maybe has escalated, a lot of financial control. We also see that there is intimidation tactics, sometimes with or without intimidation with weapons, coercion and threats. And where it is particularly important to note these dynamics is when it doesn't look the way we think it should look, or the way that maybe is a common threat, because people will use what they can to wield that power or control. So for our trans or LGBT folks, it could be the threat of outing. For our undocumented folks, it could be threats of withholding papers or documentation, or the children, threats of withholding children. And then we have caretakers, right? We have individuals that take care of needs that are dependent on them, and perhaps withholding medication or care.
In my mind and in my heart, I feel like I have a need to always want to help. If I see something or see someone who might be going through this type of situation, I would want to help. How can we recognize the signs that someone is being abused, and how can we help, or should we help them?
I think that what we've learned, at least firsthand in the work that we do, is that those that are closest to us have the best opportunity, perhaps, to be in a space or have access to us, because one of the tools that is used in that power and control dynamic is isolation. I think that's the largest one we see, or the first one that we see come up in their histories that are shared. And so it would be an opportunity to provide them with the information. What we understand also is that not all folks are at the same stage in their journey. So some have just begun a relationship, others have been in it a while, and others are trying to figure out when is the best time to leave. And so ways that we can assist are by asking them, how can I help? That is always the best way, because a survivor is really in the best position to share with you what is scariest about the situation that they're in, what has worked, and what their strengths and resources have been to keep them safe thus far. And perhaps just having that open door would be the first step, right? Letting them know that you're a safe place to land. Also, then, if your person is amenable to some resources, I would say a plan is a great place to start, right? So coming up with a plan. What is it that you have? What is it that you need? And definitely, I will want to share that. So safety planning is very important, and it's very individual. It's going to be dependent. Does this person have children? Does the person have transportation? Does the person have documentation? So it's important if we are close to this person. So I feel that there's so many opportunities to assist. It's just a matter of, where do you show up? Do you show up in that relationship with that person, or are you a community member? And really just taking the option of assisting. It is important to remember one of the most dangerous times for a survivor is when they make the decision to leave. So while it's our inclination to want to yank them out of their life, it could potentially be the most dangerous if they are not assisted with some planning.
Yeah, that's definitely a concern and something to think about because, like I said, for someone who wants to go in and be like, I'm going to help you, I'm going to save you, that may not always be the best plan and of action. And what is the number that people can call if nothing else, if there's just one resource or something they can do to pass along to someone they think might be a victim or that they themselves can use to call?
Well, I'd like to provide you with two resources. The National Domestic Violence Abuse Hotline is a great resource nationally. And that number is 1-800-799-SAFE. The other would be if somebody is in Los Angeles County and seeking legal support and would like to know what their rights are, would like to just receive a consult, they're welcome to call us at 323-980-3500 or online at www.laclj.org. And they can find a multitude of resources as well on our site.
Sylvia M. Gribbell from the Los Angeles Center for Law and Justice, thank you so much for giving us this really invaluable information.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much.